I'm your host with the most, Lookum 23. You're joining me for Elementalists, Chapter 10, Smoke and Mirrors. You're standing in a strange space, devoid of color, having just been pulled through a glowing mirror. Other mirrors are scattered about, their reflections dim. A giant shadow creature towers over you, blocking your only escape route. Oh, now we get to see it in full person. It's glowing red. It's going to kill me. I mean, it's not all glowing red, but I feel like it's gonna kill me. What the? Smoke billows in the monster's mouth as it barrels directly at you. You barely manage to leap out of the way. Falling to the ground, the monster lunges at you, but just before its claws rake over you, there's a flash of light. That's enough. Professor Swan slides across the ground, hand raised and glowing with a bright light. The creature shields its eyes with an arm, stumbling back, and you scramble to your feet. Professor, how did you... The mirror dimension was calling to me. I knew you must have been in danger. You need to get out of here now. Right, on it. The monster roars and takes a massive leap forward, heading right for you. Hide behind a tree, use Professor Swan as a shield. Drop to the ground. Drop to the ground? Immediately fall to the ground, covering your head. The monster lands right on top of you, digging its claws into your back, knocking the hair out of you. Negative defense. Before the monster can get another blow, Professor Swan steps forward, hands glowing once more. I didn't feel like using her as a shield. Get away from him! The creature recoils, leaping back with a pained hiss. Why don't we use light? Through the mirror, quickly! You turn and run, but look back to see the monster raised a massive clawed hand. A swirling ball of energy appears in it, kicking up a whirlwind that pulls Professor Swan closer. The monster launches the vortex at her. It slams into her and swallows her into darkness. You see her face for one last second before she disappears. No! The vortex closes and Professor Swan is gone. The monster turns back to you, its eyes narrowing. Crap. You break into a sprint, heading straight at the mirror. Professor Swan pointed out. The monster takes off after you, quickly gaining speed. As soon as you're close to it, you leap through the portal and crash into Professor Swan's office. Come on, come on. You knock over a pile of books and a few potion bottles as you struggle to move through the clutter, racing for the door. Are you alright there? I heard someone shouting. Student peeks into the room, her eyebrows knit together in confusion. Move, we've got to get out of here. What are you... As she speaks, the monster's massive arm bursts out of the mirror. It flails wildly, grabbing the armchair and tossing it to the side. Ah! Run! The student steps forward, her hands glowing with flames as she slings a fireball at the creature's arm. That should slow it down. The fireball sinks into the shadows as though absorbed by them. Or not. The monster's hand lurches, slamming into the student, and throws her across the room. As she crashes in the wall, books come showering down. Ugh. Are you okay? No, I just wanted some career advice. Now I'm fighting an invincible shadow arm. I'm not okay. The hand whips back to you, latching onto your leg and pulling you towards the mirror. The student struggles to her feet, stumbling towards you. Kick the mirror, grab onto the other student, bash the monster with a candelabra. Kick the mirror. You try to break the mirror with a kick, but your foot just sinks into the portal. Help me break this thing. Before the monster can react, or student can react, the monster digs its claws deeper into your leg, breaking the skin. Ugh! The student's hands glow again, and the surface of the mirror bubbles and stretches. Just a little more. The monster's face bursts through the mirror. The roar shakes the room, and the student's eyes go wide before her whole body crumbles. She slumps to the ground, unconscious. And she fainted. The monster turns back to you, airs its eyes, and gives a yank on your leg, pulling you back into the mirror dimension. Oh, cool. As your vision returns, the monster tosses you away from the mirror. You land with a splash in a pool of water. You get shakily to your feet, noticing that your surroundings seem backwards, a mirror of what they were before. What's with this place? The ground shakes as the monster begins stalking towards you. I can't outrun this thing. I'll have to fight it. Finally. In tune with your thoughts, Tim materializes at your side, sending a ripple through the water. His eyes narrow into slits as he faces the monster head-on. Across the way, the monster flexes clawed fingers. When it sees Tim, it hisses. The monster charges straight for you, and Tim barely leap out of the way in time. The monster collides with the mirrors scattered throughout the room. Bits of metal and broken glass shower down and clatter against the ground. Got any ideas, Tim? Tim nudges your leg, looking at a mirror across the way. Follow his gaze and spot a shimmering sword sticking right out of the center. It's smoking. I bet that could deal some serious damage. But getting it isn't going to be easy. The monster blocks your path to the sword, but there's a gap for you to race through, right between its legs. Yeah, we're on the same page. Take the mirror dimension sword to gain advantage in the fight and against other dangers that come your way. But of course, it's way too risky. We need to stay focused. The monster lurches forward menacingly. Nearby, the sword dissolves into a dark mist. Guess we'll have to handle this ourselves. Red smoke flickers out of its mouth and nose, and it charges you again. You quickly look around, noticing that the mirrors are made of metal and wood. Metal? Reach toward the mirrors with your magic. Let's do this, Tim. Your magic twines with Tim's and the mirrors shatter. You send sharp pieces of glass flying into the creatures, stabbing it. Take that. The monster rips out one of the shards and drops it into the water with a splash. It narrows its eyes at you. I think I just made it angry. Come on, Tim, let's get him again. You link your index and middle fingers together as you're at your chest and concentrate on the pool of water surrounding one of the nearby trees. Rathina. Separate your fingers, and a thick, sappy rope of resin stretches between them. With a wave of your hand, you send it flying at the monster. Resin coats the monster, tangling around it, sticking to its shadowy form. Yes! The monster struggles against the goop, but unable to free itself, it roars. A huge swirling ball of shadows appears in its mouth. It comes hurtling towards you. You leap out of the way, but the shadow ball collides with the ground and opens a vortex. Crap. The wind whips up around you and knocks you off your feet. You claw at the ground, searching for something to hold on to as the vortex drags you closer. Ah! As you're pulled in, you watch as a chunk of wood break off from a mirror frame and fly into the vortex. As it does, the void shrinks a little. The mirror. The more it sucks in, the smaller it gets. Your magic builds inside you, and you turn yourself into a magnet. You pull the objects in the room towards you and fling them into the vortex. The group of mirrors go whizzing over your head and disappear into the darkness. There's a soft pop, and the vortex closes. Phew! The monster advances on your prone form, but Tim leaps in front of you. No, you're not strong enough. The monster swipes at Tim and knocks him to the ground. He whimpers as he struggles to get up and moves protectively in front of you again. Tim! As you look over at your familiar, you catch a glimpse of his reflection in the water below. Oh. Tim's primordial form. It's kind of cool, actually. He looks different, and the water ripples and glows with a magical energy. You can use this water to evolve your familiar, so he can help defend you from the monster. I mean, kinda looks better. So you're telling me that the other familiars would maybe get an evolution too? Question mark? Ah, evolve. Digimon, digital monsters, Digimon are the champions, or gotta catch 'em all, Pokemon. Tim snarls and rushes at the monster. The monster turns towards Tim and swipes at him, his claws slicing across his body. Tim! Tim crashes the ground beside you. He lets out another whimper, and his eyes slide shut before he poofs into the ether. You stare at where Tim disappeared, hard racing. The monster takes a menacing step towards you, but the sticky material coating its body slows it down. It's still covered in resin. I can end this if I just kept it in place or do some serious damage. I'm gonna go with fire. You focus and let the magical energy build, filling the fire within you. Burn. A huge tornado of swirling fire surrounds the shadow. The creature screams as its whole body is instantly consumed in flames, the resin catching fire. Whoa! After a few moments, the flames burn out, revealing a charred and unmoving monster. The red in the monster's eyes and body fades, leaving behind a cloud of empty smoke. Is it over? You watch the creature for a moment more, but nothing happens. You let out a relief sigh and drop to the ground, your body aching. You twist to examine one of your cuts and wince. Well, that went about as badly as it could have. You get to your feet and, after stumbling a few times, start limping towards the mirror leading to Professor Swan's office. Ow. You're a soft whisper like wind moving through the leaves. You turn and look at the shadow monster, which is now leaking black vapor into the air. What's... Vapor swirls through the air, gathering into a smoky mass. Growing larger, a familiar shape begins to form, and suddenly... Oh, no. Before you can move, the monster leaps at you, pins you down with its massive hands. So this is a never-ending cycle of stupidity. Your head slams against the ground with a sickening crack, and you feel blood spread across the back of your neck. Ugh. The creature wraps its hands around your neck, choking you. You struggle to pry its cold fingers from your throat. Your vision starts to go dark in the corners, the world fading around you. You gasp for breath, but none comes. Someone help me. But there's no answer. You thrash beneath the monster, but it doesn't budge, and slowly your struggle grows weaker. It leans in close, a wicked grin spread across its face. This is it. Your mouth opens for breath it cannot find, and your eyes begin to slip shut. Everything goes black. Then, from far away, a voice calls out to you. Hang on. You force your eyes open and see the reflection racing towards you, except he looks as solid as you are, not a reflection at all, but a duplicate? He twists his hands in front of him, and the light shifts, distorting your vision. The creature recoils from unknown source, backing away and howling in fear. You scramble to your feet. Your duplicate gestures at the water, which forms a spear that stabs straight through the creature's chest, bringing it to its knees. Hey, thanks for the help? Could you focus? We have more work to do. While your duplicate speaks, the creature struggles to its feet. Two large vortices appear in its hands, and the wind begins howling as they open. I think they misspelled vortexes. That's why I was like, vortices? Feel yourself getting sucked towards them, and a mirror goes flying past you, disappearing into the darkness. Your duplicate shouts to be heard over the noise. We have to work together. I need you to channel your magic into the ground and make a downward slice with your arm like a karate chop, then summon, or then shout, consume. Your feet skid along the ground as the vortices drag you and your duplicate closer. I've never heard of vortices. Congrats, it's a new word. You channel your magic through your feet and swing your arm in a downward slice. In the corner of your eye, you can see your duplicate do the same. I have to shout the right word. Consume. Duplicate grins at you as you pour your magic into the spell. The ground cracks, branching out into jagged lines that centers right below the monster. A fissure suddenly opens. The fissure swallows the monster and its vortices and closes without a trace. Is it really gone? As you stare at the space where the monster used to be, you catch sight of an eerie-looking old man standing in the distance. Merlin, is that you? Before you can say anything, you hear a soft thud and look over to find your duplicate collapsed on the ground. You take a step towards him when a massive ball of shadow appears next to the mirror and spits out Professor Swan. Professor, you're alive? Yes, it seems that void didn't like me very much, but you're okay. I was beginning to fear the worst. I'm sorry I couldn't protect you, Ezekiel. That creature was much stronger than I anticipated. Caught me by surprise. She surveys the area, her gaze falling on your duplicate. Oh my goodness, Atlas! Professor? You know him? Of course I do! But he's been following me since I forgot to Pendarghast. When you mentioned a reflection, I thought maybe he was checking in, but I didn't realize he was trapped here. Oh dear. She kneels beside your duplicate, checking his pulse before letting out a relieved sigh. Seems he's just unconscious, but still with us. Professor Swan shakes her head and turns back to you. Let's get out of here. She levitates your duplicate off the ground and brings him to the mirror. With you trailing behind, you both step through into her office. Did you not see the old, sinister-looking man in the darkness, in the distance? No? Okay. Professor Swan sets your duplicate down in one of the chairs and returns to the mirror you step through. Tucked away in a back corner of the room, she lifts her hands, which glow softly. What are you doing? Putting the wards back up. I had to take them down to get you. We don't want anything else coming through again. She does a complicated gesture over the mirror, nods to herself, and returns to your side. Oh my goodness, Ezekiel, you're covered in blood. Professor Swan snaps her fingers and a wet towel flies into her hand. She quickly uses it to wipe off the back of your neck, which is caked in dried blood. She gently presses her fingers against the wound there, and you wince. I'm worried. You could have a concussion. I can give you a potion that should help some, but there will be side effects. You need to be more careful, Ezekiel. You got badly hurt in the fight against the shadow. I tried to fight back, but the thing was a lot stronger than me. We'll have to increase your training. See what we can do. I mean, what am I, Gohan? Are you gonna train me until I surpass you? Because you got beat too. So, can we talk about the elephant in the room? Absolutely. Like the girl that's unconscious over here. Let's not talk about her. Points at the unconscious student like, oh my god! Pixelberry, are you reading my mind? Who is that, and did you kill her? Huh? No, she's just unconscious. She was trying to help me, and what I meant was, Professor, how did you know him? Point over your duplicate, then cross your arms. Swan crosses the room, opens up her office door, and gently rolls the unconscious student out. Really? Really? Once the door's closed, she locks it and wipes her palms on her skirt nervously. I'm glad you disposed of the body, Professor Swan. I didn't know you were like that. I've soft spot is open in my dark heart. Oh, that. I admit I knew more about your situation than I originally let on, but I could tell you weren't ready, so I lied. But I promise, I only did that to try and keep you safe. I can't believe you lied to me. Professor, will you at least tell me why? The Swan looks at the ground and lets out a heavy sigh. There are so many things you don't understand, Ezekiel. I didn't want you to get dragged into it all. I knew when you showed up here there was something wrong, but I wanted you to have a chance to be happy. I guess I didn't do a great job. I know you were trying to help, but how can I even trust that you're telling the truth right now? You don't have to trust her. The sound of his voice, you turn towards your duplicate, Atlas, to find him wide awake. But you should trust me. You're joking, right? Every time you show up, it seems like some monster appears and tries to kill me. And that's exactly what I've been trying to warn you about. I'm the one who's been protecting you from the beginning. Why would you do that? You really don't get it, do you? He rises and turns to face you. He pulls a ripped piece of paper out of his pocket and hands it to you. That's the other half of the photo. We're brothers! I'm your twin. Yay, I have a twin. Not keep the mirrors. I don't give a shit, shut up. Put the picture in the thingy. You now use the Fisher spell. Hey! Got it for free. The other half, you could have done that all in one set. What the? Wait a minute! What the? I meet my twin and that's it, huh? Hmm. I'm mad now. You just leave me hanging, huh? Just like that? Just leave me hanging? It's, not very kind of you, Pixelberry. Thought we had a thing. Thought we had a unspoken, stop doing that! Oh well. Could have at least hugged him. Said hi, where you been for 20 years? Something, anything. Alright, so I hope y'all did enjoy the video. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. Head down to the description. We have links to our Twitch where you can watch every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday as we do live choices. I hope you all did enjoy the senior finale. I'm not going to repeat the end message. That was those for you who enjoy senior the most, and as well as my content. So, without further ado, thank you all for watching, and hopefully catch you in the next video. Peace.